Be careful, my son, be extremely careful of blood. Cover it in the earth, and therefore do not eat blood, because it is life. And you shall not eat any blood, and do not accept gifts for any human blood, lest it be poured out in vain, without judgment, because it is blood which is poured out to cause sin for the earth. And the earth is not able to be purified of human blood, except by blood of one who shed it. And you shall not accept gifts or tributes for human blood, blood through blood, so that you may be accepted before the Lord God Most High, and He will be the protector of the good, so that you might guard yourself from all evil, and so that He might save you from all death. I see, my son, every deed of mankind, that their sins and evils, and all of their deeds are defilement and corruption and contamination, and there is no righteousness with them. Be careful not to walk in their ways, and to tread in their path, or to commit a mortal sin before the Most High God, so that He will hide His face from you, and deliver you into the power of your sin, and uproot you from the earth, and your seed from beneath the sky, and your name and seed will perish from all the earth. Turn yourself aside from all their deeds and from all their defilement, and keep the commands of the Most High God, and perform His will, and act uprightly in all things, and He will bless you in all your deeds. And He will raise up from you a righteous plant in all the earth throughout all the generations of the earth. And my name and your name shall not cease from beneath heaven forever. Go, my son, in peace. May God Most High, my God and your God, strengthen you to do His will, and may He bless all of your seed and the remnant of your seed for eternal generations with all righteous blessing, so that you might be a blessing in all of the earth. And he went out from him rejoicing. And it came to pass in the first week of this 44th Jubilee, in the second year, that the year in which Abraham died, that Isaac and Ishmael came from the well of the oath to Abraham, their father, to observe the feast of Shavuot, which is the feast of the first fruits of the harvest. And Abraham rejoiced, because both of his children came. For Isaac had many possessions in Beersheba, and Isaac used to go and inspect his possessions and return to his father. And in those days Ishmael came to see his father, and both of them came together. And Isaac slaughtered a sacrifice as a burnt offering, and offered it up upon the altar of his father which he built in Hebron. And he sacrificed a thank offering, and made a feast of joy before Ishmael his brother. And Rebekah made new round cakes of new grain, and she gave them both to Jacob her son, to take to Abraham his father, from the first fruits of the land, so that he might eat and bless the Creator of all before he died. And Isaac also sent by the hand of Jacob a good thank offering to Abraham, so that he might eat and drink. And he ate and drank and blessed God Most High, who created heaven and earth, and who made all of the fat of the earth, and gave it to the sons of man, so that they might eat and drink and bless their Creator. And now I thank you, my God, because you have let me see this day. Behold, I am 175 years old, and filled in days, and all of my days were peaceful for me. The sword of all the enemy did not triumph over me in anything which you gave me, or my sons, all the days of my life until this day. O my God, may your mercy and your peace be upon your servant, and upon the seed of his sons, so that they might become an elect people for you, and an inheritance from all the nations of the earth from henceforth, and for all the days of the generations of the earth forever. And he called Jacob and said, My son, Jacob, may the God of all bless you and strengthen you to do righteousness and his will before him. And may he elect you and your seed, so that you might become a people for him, who always belong to his inheritance according to his will. And you, my son Jacob, draw near and kiss me. And he drew near and kissed him, and he said, Blessed is my son Jacob and all his sons unto the Lord Most High forever. May the Lord give you righteous seed, and may he sanctify some of your sons in the midst of all the earth. May the nations serve you, and all the nations bow down before your seed. Be strong before all men, and rule over all the seed of Seth. Then may your ways be righteous, and the ways of your sons, in order to be a holy people. May the Most High God give you all the blessings with which he blessed me, and with which he blessed Noah and Adam. May they rest upon the holy head of your seed throughout each generation and forever. May he cleanse you from all sin and defilement, so that he might forgive all your transgressions and your erring through ignorance. May he strengthen you and bless you, and may you inherit all of the earth. And may he renew his covenant with you, so that you might be a people for him, belonging to his inheritance forever. And he will be a God for you, and for your seed in truth and righteousness throughout all the days of the earth. And you also, my son, Jacob, remember my words, and keep the commandments of Abraham your father. Separate yourself from the Gentiles, and do not eat with them, and do not perform deeds like theirs, and do not become associates of theirs, because their deeds are defiled, and all of their ways are contaminated and despicable and abominable. They slaughter their sacrifices to the dead, and to the demons they bow down, and they eat in tombs, and all of their deeds are worthless and vain, and they have no heart to perceive, and they have no eyes to see what their deeds are, and where they wander astray, saying to the tree, You are my God, and to the stone, You are my Lord, and You are my Savior, and they have no heart. But as for you, my son Jacob, may God Most High help you, and the God of heaven bless you, and may he turn you from their defilement and from all their errors. Be careful, my son Jacob, that you do not take a wife from any of the seed of the daughters of Canaan, because all of his seed is destined for uprooting from the earth, because through the sin of Ham, Canaan sinned, and all of his seed will be blotted from the earth, and all his remnant, and there is none of his who will be saved. And for all those who worship idols, and for the hated ones, because there is no hope in the land of the living, because they will go down into Sheol, and in the place of judgment they will walk. And they will have no memory upon the earth, just as the sons of Sodom were taken from the earth, so too all those who worship idols shall be taken away. Do not fear, my son Jacob, and do not be in terror, O son of Abraham. The Most High God shall protect you from destruction, and from the ways of error he will deliver you. This house I have built for myself, so that I might cause my name to dwell upon it in the land. It has been given to you and to your seed forever, and it will be called the house of Abraham, and it will be given to you and your seed forever, because you will build my house, and you will raise up my name before God forever. Your seed and your name will remain in all earth's generations. And he ceased commanding him and blessing him, and both of them lay down together in one bed. And Jacob slept on the bosom of Abraham his father's father, and he kissed him 7 times, and his compassionate heart rejoiced over him, and he blessed him with all his heart, and he said, God, Most High, is the God of all, and Creator of all, who brought me out from Ur of the Chaldees, so that he might give me this land to inherit it forever, and to raise up a holy seed, so that the Most High may be blessed forever. And he blessed Jacob, saying, My son is the one in whom I rejoice with all of my heart and all of my emotion, and may your favor and your mercy rest upon him and upon his seed always. And do not forsake him and neglect him henceforth, and for the eternal days. And may your eyes be open upon him and upon his seed, so that you might protect him and bless him and sanctify him for a people who belong to your heritage. And bless him with all of your blessings henceforth, and for all the eternal days. And renew your covenant and your mercy with him, and with his seed, and with all your will in all of the earth's generations. And he placed the 2 fingers of Jacob on his eyes, and he blessed the God of gods. And he covered his face, and stretched out his feet, and slept the eternal sleep. And he was gathered to his fathers. During all of this time Jacob was lying on his bosom, and did not know that Abraham his grandfather was dead. And Jacob awoke from his sleep, and behold, Abraham was cold as ice. And he said, O Father, Father, and none spoke, and he knew that he was dead. And he rose up from his bosom, and ran and told Rebekah his mother. And Rebekah went to Isaac in the night, and told him. And they went together, and Jacob was also with them, and a lamp was in his hand. And when they went, they found Abraham lying dead. And Isaac fell upon his father's face, and wept, and kissed him. And the sound was heard in Abraham's house. And Ishmael his son arose, and went to Abraham his father. And he wept for Abraham his father, he and all of Abraham's house. And they wept greatly. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, near Sarah his wife. And all of the men of his house, and Isaac and Ishmael, and all of their sons, and all of the sons of Keturah, wept for him 40 days in their places. And all of the days of Abraham's weeping were completed. And he lived 3 jubilees and 4 weeks of years, 175 years. And he completed the days of his life, being old and full of days. For the days of the lives of the ancients were 19 Jubilees. And after the flood they began to be less than 19 Jubilees, and to grow old quickly, and to shorten the days of their lives due to much suffering and through the evil of their ways, except Abraham. For Abraham was perfect in all of his actions with the Lord, and was pleasing through righteousness all the days of his life. And behold, he did not complete 4 Jubilees in his life until he grew old in the presence of evil, and his days were full. And all of the generations which will arise henceforth, and until the day of the great judgment, will grow old quickly before they complete 2 Jubilees, and their knowledge will forsake them because of their old age, and all of their foreknowledge will be removed. And in those days, if a man will live a Jubilee and a half, they will say about him, he prolonged his life. But the majority of his days were suffering and anxiety and affliction, and there was no peace, because plague came upon plague, and wound upon wound, and affliction upon affliction, and evil report upon evil report, and sickness upon sickness, and every evil judgment of this sort one with another, sickness and downfall, and sleet and hail, and frost and fever, and chills and stupor, and famine and death and sword, and captivity, and all plagues and suffering. And all of this will come in the evil generation which sins in the land. Pollution and fornication and contamination and abomination are their deeds. Then they will say, the days of the ancients were as many as 1,000 years and good. But behold, as for the days of our lives, if a man should extend his life 70 years, or if he is strong for 80 years, then these are evil. And there is not any peace in the days of this evil generation. And in this generation children will reproach their parents and their elders on account of sin, and on account of injustice, and on account of the words of their mouth, and on account of great evil which they will do, and on account of their forsaking the covenant which the Lord made between them and himself, so that they might be careful and observe all of his commandments and his ordinances, and all of his law, without turning aside to the right or left. For they all did evil, and every mouth speaks of sin, and all their deeds are polluted and abominable, and all of their ways are contamination and pollution and corruption. Behold, the land will be corrupted on account of all their deeds, and there will be no seed of the vine, and there will be no oil, because their works are entirely faithless, and all of them will be destroyed together, beast, cattle, birds, and all the fish of the sea, on account of the sons of man. Some of these will strive with others, youths with old men, and old men with youths, the poor with the rich, the lowly with the great, and the beggar with the judge, concerning the law and the covenant, because they have forgotten the commandments and covenants and the festivals and months and Sabbaths and Jubilees and all of the judgments. And they will stand up with bow and swords and war, in order to return them to the way. But they will not be returned until much blood is shed upon the earth by each group. And those who escape will not be turned back from their evil to the way of righteousness, because they will lift themselves up for deceit and wealth, so that one shall take everything of his neighbor. And they will pronounce the great name, but not in truth or righteousness. And they will pollute the Holy of Holies with their pollution, and with the corruption of their contamination. And there will be a great plague upon the deeds of that generation from the Lord, and he will give them to the sword, and to judgment, and to captivity, and to pillage and destruction. And he will rouse up against them the sinners of the nations, who have no mercy or grace for them, and have no regard for any persons, old or young, or anyone. For they will be cruel and powerful, so that they will act more evilly than any of the sons of men. And they will cause turmoil in Israel, and sin against Jacob, and much blood will be shed upon the earth, and there will be no one who will gather, and no one who will bury. In those days they will cry out and pray, to be saved from the hands of the sinners, the Gentiles, but there will be no one who will be saved. And the heads of the children will be white, with gray hairs, and an infant 3 weeks old will look aged, like one whose years are 100, and their stature will be destroyed by affliction and torment. And in those days children will begin to search the law, and to search the commandments, and return to the way of righteousness. And the days will begin to increase and grow longer among those sons of men, generation by generation, and year by year, until their days approach 1,000 years, and to a greater number of years than days. And there will be no old men, and none who is full of days. because all of them will be infants and children, and all of their days will be complete, and live in peace and rejoicing. And there will be no Satan and no evil one who will destroy, because all of their days will be days of blessing and healing.